Good evening. Welcome everyone to this cold winter, dark Qigong class, but we're optimistic, aren't we? Things are just beginning to look up. So today we're going to practice we're going to do some standing practices, and then we're going to do some sitting movement, and then we'll do some sitting stillness. So you have your stool or cushion at the ready. I sit on a stool because if I sit on the floor, you won't be able to see me. So if you sit on a cushion, that's perfectly fine. Traditionally, sitting Qigong is taught sitting on a stool, but for the most part, for what we're doing, the alignment of the body from the hips up is what's important, and that's the same sitting or standing or sitting cross-legged. It's the same. So not a big deal. So let's just do a few preliminaries. The way this is always taught in Tai Chi and in Qigong is to just assume standing mountain, which is the pose or standing one position. And that's the pose that we want. But rather than going from sort of moving right into it, let's loosen the body just a little bit, just subtly. So starting with the hips, just sort of subtly, rocking or circling the hips. And I know we do this as a part of the exercise, but just to do it a little subtly, so that as we stand, we just do it a little bit, just to organize the vertical axis. So starting with that down there, and then making sure the belly is very relaxed and maybe pushed out just a little bit. And then the shoulders are just a little bit back. So we just sort of just want to get used to doing little subtle movements, subtle adjustments, I should say, to come into alignment. And then rather than doing all the neck and shoulder exercises, just move them a little, and just so you can feel when you arrive at that nice stacked spine. And this just really just takes a few seconds, but it's permission. This is what I want to transmit. Is that we don't just sort of rigidly do this. This is the stance we want, and then maybe we got to adjust a little bit to arrive at it. And then once we're in it, maybe we slump a little bit or something. And so the concept is that we're making little tiny adjustments as our mindfulness makes it clear that we need to. So it's not just a matter of, yes, I'm in this posture, or no, I'm not in this posture. It's that, okay, yes, here it is. Okay, now I've noticed that I'm slumping a little, so I'm just gonna adjust a little bit. See what happens with the breath when I bring the shoulders back just a little bit. And so just this idea of that we adjust from time to time. not only in our posture, but also in our sitting practice. That the mindfulness notices, oh, beginning to get a little sleepy, so we adjust. We open the eyes a little bit, or breathe a little more deeply, or oh, the mind is very busy, so we adjust and we bring the attention into the posture, into the body. And so it's this. It's not just we're either meditating or we're not. We're either in the position or we're not. It's that we're always, not always, but we're free to make little adjustments, little subtle adjustments as we notice that they're needed. And then, then by this method, then we more easily sort of drop into the stillness of the posture, abandoning the tension. Okay. So that was a long-winded way of saying, just if you feel like you need to move a little bit, just do it. And then it can be useful here to drop the attention straight down. Once we sort of feel that alignment, drop the attention straight down and see if you can locate the lowest point in the torso where the in-breath begins. The in-breath begins with the muscles in the abdomen moving forward. And if you can just drop in and just feel that point just before it moves, and then you can locate it. That's somewhere in the vicinity of the lower dantian. That initiates the in-breath. And then as we've practiced many times, the opposite. So as we breathe out, then we drop down, we relax, we let go a little bit. So the in-breath pulls it in and down, the air. And the out-breath moves the air up and out. And as it goes up and out, we kind of drop down a little bit into sort of just letting go, into relaxing. And that creates a sense of openness. Okay, good. And let's go ahead and bow to the directions, starting with north. And then to the east. And to the south. And to the west. And back to center. And we're going to go up, so we start by going down. So above. And then bending at the waist. Don't strain the back, bend the knees. Low. And this brings all the energy from all those 6 directions into the lower dantian, the middle dantian, and reinforces the vertical axis. And just notice the palms of the hands, particularly the Lao Gung point in the center of the palm. And then noticing also the torso, the heart area, and the abdomen. And then that reminds us of this vertical axial alignment. And let's just take a moment and consciously move our attention from the front of our body, that is our face, eyes, ears, nose, mouth, chest, belly, our hands, knees, moving the attention from the front of the body, which is where it usually is, and moving it to the back of the body. So the back of the head gives us a sense of the whole head. The back of the heart, or between the shoulder blades. The back of the belly. And the back of the legs. And then noticing the breathing. So when the belly goes forward at the in-breath, also feel that the lower back goes backward just a touch. That there's a movement in both directions, opening the abdomen. And likewise, when the lungs expand forward, they also expand backward. And the whole body is here, the whole body's breathing. We know the front is here. So by focusing on the back, we get a sense, more of a sense of the whole body. And then the back of the head, it helps us to feel the whole head rather than just the front of it. Okay, and slowly let the hands down. All right, let's go from here. Let's go right into the beginning. We'll be doing opening a 7 gates seated, which we've never done. So the preliminary for that, or the first part of those movements, is trembling mountain and then filter. Remember, filtering down. So you can involve your head and neck in this. You can also sort of just lift up your shoulders and let them drop down. You can do a side to side sort of thing, kind of as if you're walking. Move the left shoulder forward and then the right shoulder. That's fine too. We're just loosening everything up. However that works for you, but keeping the feet rooted. We also would usually in this, we don't want to move the arms. We're moving the torso and the arms and the head and so on. They just kind of go along for the ride. The hands really get shaken doing this, don't they? And then internally, it's very subtle, but the organs are just kind of gently rubbing against each other. So it creates kind of what they call an internal massage. Okay, let's increase the intensity a little more. If you do this on your own, do it until you want to stop. And then don't stop, do it a little more. I've never heard of anybody having ill effects from doing this. Would you let me know at the end if you do? But obviously if you have any pain or anything like that, then you just don't do it or just reduce it in some way. Okay, we're coming to the end, so. Okay, and then when you're ready, you can either stop suddenly or you can gradually reduce. Either way is fine. But either way, you may want to just adjust a little bit, particularly the hips, as you come into the standing posture. Should make the adjustment real easy to do. Okay, now this is like tree in autumn, so dip the knees. So in breath, going to come up, eyes follow the hands. We're going to make a screen with the hands. All the way up, make the screen, out breath, down. And as we're bringing the hands down in front of the body, we're bringing down through the body that screen shape made up of the light of the stars. And it's filtering through the whole body. You can imagine and sense this, filtering right through the whole body. Okay, and then when you're ready, then in breath, your eyes follow the hands. Pause a moment at the top, looking up, and then form the filter. And then this one's a little finer. It's moving through the whole body, including the arms. And use the eyes. You can bend the knees a little if you want as you go down, but then at the bottom, straighten them up. All the way down, out the toes, out the feet, into the earth as compost. And we'll do this 4 times, so this is number 3. This is pure light. Relax. And then as you finish and come back into standing, then go ahead and make your little adjustments if you need to. Now the body is fresh. And it's glowing. And in not only the front, but the back. Okay, and we'll move into opening the 7 gates, and we'll do it seated this time. Okay, so I can't see on my screen everyone's who's here. But if you're not really familiar with this, so we're going to be opening 7 gates. Sometimes it's 5 gates, or it could be even 9 gates. But we'll do 7. And the arm movement is we go out to the side, bring the hands back to back, and then point to the center line of the body. And then when we're ready, we separate the hands out. Okay, so the 7 points in this exercise would be the perineum, the very base of the torso. Then that's number 1, abdomen number 2, solar plexus number 3, the heart, chest area is 4, and the throat is 5, forehead 6, and then the crown of the head 7. So these correspond to the chakra points. Sometimes this is taught with 5 points only. Okay, but we'll do 7. So just drop into your sitting posture. You know, push the belly out just a little bit. You know, arch the lower back just a little bit. Shoulders back just a touch. Chest forward. Chin is dropped. Till you can sense that alignment. So the line goes right through the crown of the head, straight down the center line of the body, out the perineum, and down into the earth. Okay, so as we do this, we'll lean forward. So I'll demonstrate with a fourth because you can't see below that. So with when it's time for the fourth one, the arms will be out. So we'll bend forward, point to the heart. The fingers are maybe 3 or 4 inches away. Then as we sit back, that casts the arms and hands out. And so we're looking kind of up. Okay, so just to repeat it. So when we're ready, we point to the chest, lean forward, lean back, the torso opening, throws out the arms, okay? And visualize opening the chest, okay? And so we do that with all of them. The top one, we come down from the top and open, okay? And so that's 7, count of 7, and then we bring down, just like we did with filtering, only we're not filtering, then we're filling the gates. So when the gates go in all directions, it can be useful to think of it as a continuous pole of bamboo, and each gate is one of the filaments, one of the segment walls, and it opens to the rest of them. So we're opening up vertically to the light of the sun, the moon, the stars, and the energy of the earth. But we're also opening actually in all directions. Okay? So we'll do this 3 times. We'll do the 1 through 7, and then we'll bring down the light of the stars, fill the gates, and then that's 1 set. So we'll do 3 sets. And then after that, we'll go into sitting practice. All right? So let's more or less stay together. Probably the last one, just do at your own pace. But for this first one, let's stay together. So ready? So in breath, out. Okay, out breath, we bending forward, out breath. Point to the perineum. Lean back. Open first gate. Okay, and then forward, exhale. You can feel the body push the air out. Point to the abdomen. In breath, lean back, open, belly. And then aware also of the perineum. We've opened those 2. Okay. Lean forward. And this time, pointing to the solar plexus. As we lean back, arms come open. Now we're aware of 3 gates are open. And then lean forward. This will be number 4. So pointing to the heart area. Leaning back, opening. Okay, so now we have 4 open. Leaning forward. Next one, number 5, point to the neck. So we lean back, the hands, the arms naturally open. Open the neck, open the throat. Lean forward. Number 6 is the forehead, between the eyebrows. Lean back. Now we open the whole way down. 6 of them are open all the way down. Okay, leaning forward. And pointing down to the crown, and the top of the head. Sit back. Open up the skull and the whole body all the way down. Open, 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 open. It's just the light of the stars in there. Spaciousness. Okay, and now lean forward. Now we're going to reach up. And we're going to embrace the column of light or the ball of light, bringing down the warm light of the cosmos coming down, filling the gates one at a time. Don't be in a hurry. Coming through the skull, filling the head, the brain, filling up the open throat. This is very soothing, very healing, filling the chest, torso, abdomen. Okay, and now all the way down to the perineum. The hands will go down now between the legs and then pointing to the earth. Okay, and then come back to sitting for a moment. Take a minute and check your adjustment. Okay, how does the body feel? Okay, so then now let's repeat. So it's leaning forward, breathing out, starting with perineum. Now they all may open. You may have a sense of all of them opening because they've been open already. And leaning forward. Out breath. Okay, number 2. As you lean back, open. And not only those 2 are open, but all of them actually. Okay, forward. And number 3. Opening the 3 and all of them actually. And leaning forward, breathing out. Number 4, opening the rib cage, opening the body all the way down and up. Number 5 at the neck. Six. And then crown of the head. And open all of them, all the way down. Open the whole body, front, back. Everything is open. Okay, and then in breath. And we're going to bring down the pure light. And if a deity is part of your spiritual practice, you're bringing down the light of God or the Great Mother or the Buddha or whatever it is, it's fine. We're inspiring the body. however, whatever that means to you. Filling the body with this healing light. Okay, and then end up pointing to the earth. All right, and then let's sit just for a moment. Do a little adjustment if you need it. Okay, and now this last one, I'm not going to count or even say anything. So just at your own pace, now let's begin together. So here we go. Okay, so that's about filling the body with light and air and space. Let's also notice the stability of that vertical column. It's actually very strong. When the body is aligned, there's alongside the openness from the gates, there's a definite presence of weight and solidity. The body is here. Now let's continue with the breath. So with the out breath, let's breathe that light out through the pores of the skin in all directions. In breath, just come back to the dense light in the body, and breathe out, front and back, all sides. So that we're interacting with the space around us. So the uprightness reminds us of the solidity, and then at the same time we're diffusing the light out in all directions. And there's stillness, the body's sitting still, and there's movement of the breath and of the light. So we know the body is here because we can feel it. And we feel it whether it's pleasure or pain or warm or cold or wet or dry, whatever the feeling is, we feel it as tingling, something like tingling. It has qualities that we can name, but they're all forms of the basic chi energy, which is aliveness or kind of tingling. Now, the space of the mind is where we register these feelings. It's where we're aware of it. The brain processes the synapses of the electrical current from the nervous system in the brain. The mind is where we are aware of the body. The mind is also in the body. And the mind is also made up of this tingling, spacious energy. So we can feel it in the body and we can feel it also in the mind. There's no separation. Okay. It's just energy, body and mind. And then the uprightness, that's the awareness of the presence of this energy. The awareness is still. It's not born, it doesn't die, it's just still. And the tingling in the body and in the mind, space of the mind, is rapidly moving. Sort of crackling with life. Okay, if you feel any stiffness, just go ahead and move just subtly. And when the body is upright, it's open. And when the body is relaxed, it's open. When the body is upright, the mind is alert. And when the body is relaxed, the mind is empty. open. Open body, open mind. And now let's use a little intentionality and actually go into radiance. So here we're aware of this field of energy in the body and the mind and around the body and mind. So with the out breath, just with very, very light touch, we radiate out. Not pushing, just allowing. It radiates out in all directions infinitely. And the breath just sort of becomes the wind in the stars. Okay, and then letting go of even that and allowing that radiance to come in as well as go out. And one practice is to breathe it in and breathe it out through the seventh gate in the crown. And breathe it out through the perineum or any gate, front and back. Okay, and when you're ready, again, just make little adjustments in the body. Maybe move the upper body a little bit. Move the head and neck a little bit, shoulders, just subtly. And then you can increase the movements a little. And just loosen the body. It's been sitting still. And lean forward and back, if you like. And then slowly let the eyes come completely open. And let go of your mudra. And come fully present. Just check the body. Okay. So let's get ready and we'll clap our hands together one time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And make heat. And massage the eye sockets with the heels of the hands. Comb back the hair. Down the face. And tug on the ears a little bit. You can massage the temples if you like. And the whole area around the temples, including the upper jaw. And then making light fists and tap the kidneys. And massage the kidneys. Okay, and let's turn off the recording.